All right. Looks like we are good to go here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Myst Monday, where I will be playing through the classic point-and-click adventure series Myst, starting with the first game. It's called Myst. And it also takes place in a place called Myst, the first one anyway. So I will say that word a lot. Myst with a Y for anyone who does not see the title of this stream. So we're already a little bit late here. Did have some technical difficulties, but it looks like we are good to go now. So I'm going to go ahead and get this show on the road. Right. Enabled. Okay. I'm going to have to start a new game here. I did open it up just a couple minutes ago to make sure that everything was set graphics-wise, and it showed up on OBS just fine. It does look like everything's okay, but just bear with me as I hop over to a new game. Don't spoil anything by looking at the one thing you'll probably see before then. That's odd. It doesn't appear that the audio was picked up there. Interesting. Enable preview again. I wonder why that would be. Oh my gosh, that's my cursor. That's so funny. That's the old Myst logo, the little person falling. I think that's supposed to be you, but maybe it's supposed to be Atris. As he mentions in the very beginning of the game, he did fall into a sort of... I'm not sure what he falls into. It's like a rift full of stars? I don't know if they ever actually explain where he was and what he was doing when that occurred. Because you do get to meet and speak to him in the game later. Yeah, okay, I'm hearing audio, and it looks like you can see what's going on. But it doesn't seem that the audio is transmitting. I'm not sure why. Give me one moment and I will try and get that rectified. Why is it doing that? I swear, every time I do this, something's wrong. Okay, that's fine. I'm not hearing anything now, so that makes sense. But when I flip over, still not picking anything up. Huh. Alright, well, one moment, please. Oh, don't do that, please. Display capture, you'd think, would be grabbing the audio, but perhaps not. Maybe I need to add a new audio source. Audio output capture. We will try that. That's fine. Do. Just realized I haven't turned my lights on. It's probably why the picture looks so bad. There we go. Great. Yeah, whatever's going to my headphones, I want that to go on the stream. Mute desktop audio here, audio output capture. Alright, see if that fixes the problem. Yeah, that looks good. Looks like you're hearing the wind and the lapping waves. Alright, let's go ahead and start again. Don't worry, you're not seeing anything important. I literally started the game and walked forward 2 steps and then adjusted the graphic settings. Yes, I am sure we want to start a new game. Alright. I've not played this game in so long. Jesus, Cyan. I'm not sure why the volume is very loud in this game. I have to... Good sweet. Apologize for the sound quality. That's ridiculously loud. I'm just going to turn down the in-game audio because I think I've adjusted the audio and everything else in here, so that should be fine. And like, that's not just loud on your end in the meter. Like, that's loud in my headphones. So I'll just change the in-game audio here. So loud. Stop. Perhaps that's the problem, is that there is no in-game audio settings. It's good high quality, though. You deserve high quality video, I think. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna throw that at just like half, because this has just been insanely loud. I wonder if that's too quiet for y'all now. Turn up a little. Cool. I just gotta find a better place to put my microphone, because like right now the way I have it, it's like always blocking my screen. I just don't have a good spot for it that's not doing that though. Actually, maybe I can just kind of like move it off to the side here. That's a little bit better. I hope that sounds okay. It looks like it's still capturing on the meter, so alright. Boop. Boop. New game. Alright, just start another new game so you can watch the intro cinematic. Apparently that audio setting does not affect the title card. Awful. So loud. What the frick?
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I planned.
Alright, I'm gonna try this again. I'm just gonna reduce this to like do. Take it down by 6 decibels, which is because decibels are logarithmic. That's actually half. It should be about half the volume, but I'm gonna turn down the volume in my headphones, I guess, as well. Where is that button? Let's see what that sounds like. You'd think I would have got this all sorted out beforehand when I was messing with the graphics, but didn't even cross my mind. So, there you go. I'm really good at this here Twitch streaming thing. What is... No. Oh my god. Alright, this is insufferable. What the heck is going on here? No. Alt F4, please. Please, please, please. My poor computer. My poor crappy computer. We'll take that down to -12 decibels. I'm surprised. I thought 6 would be more than enough, and I was still shooting way into the red on the audio capture, so apologies. I feel like this pop screen is not doing as much work as I would like it to do. But that's what happens when you make your own pop screen. It's probably not very good quality. Seriously, though. It's Seems like I didn't do anything turning down the volume on the headphones. It's still very loud. Alright, well, I'm going to turn y'all back up to full then, and I'm just going to reduce system audio. Is that close? Please close. Please get off my screen. Come on, please work. Please work? Or don't, but like I don't want to keep fighting you, thank you. Okay. Apologies if this is loud again, but I'm gonna start it and cover your ears just in case. Just in case. Okay, that's not bad for me. That seems like it might be still a little bit loud for y'all. Didn't go into the red, did go into the yellow a little bit, so I'll go back down to the 6 dB reduction for that. Yeah. Perfect, that should be good. Alright. And finally, we'll start that new game, so you can listen to Atris cryptically tell you some stuff. It's plot relevant. It's not informative, shall we say. It's just sort of setting things up, setting up the tone. Beauty, everything looks very nice. Let's start a new game. Okay. I find it funny that they feel the need to have the cinematic go again, or like have this little title card go up again. Because there's a reason they call it a vanity card. Don't quit your day job. Me.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. Continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed, but I must admit that such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
I would venture to guess that no, the ending has not yet been written. So, like, I have so many questions about, like, this starting screen in the game. Like, where are you? Who the hell are you that you're just, like, standing in this weird starry place and a book falls out of the sky in front of you and you're like, cool. Very, very interesting start. Very abstract. I like that a lot. Instead of trying to, like, connect it back to, like, a time or place or some sort of real world thing, they just kind of let it be its own thing. I think that's really cool. So, I don't think you can do anything here other than click the book. Yeah, we can't really do anything else. So we will do the one thing we can do and investigate this mysterious book. It's mysterious. So this is called a linking book. These are like the main feature of the Myst series, are these books that when you, as a character, put your hand upon them, they transport you to the world shown within. And that's explored in much greater detail as the games go on, so I don't want to talk too much about like the mechanics of that. I know some of that is established also in the Myst books, which I don't think any of them directly tell the story of the games. Like, they're all tie-ins that tell you like backstory stuff or some other like very important things that happen in the world, and I do mean very important. But I will talk about those a little bit more as we go. How are we looking here? Audio's looking good. I almost wonder if you're not getting enough audio now, because like now it's staying well in the green. Or maybe I'm just too loud. Maybe I'm just too loud. Actually, yeah, why is the microphone set to full volume? I thought I had the microphone reduced. I'm going to leave it for now, because I can't tell if it's too loud. I'd rather be, I guess, too loud than too quiet? I don't know. I don't know which of those is better. Yeah, well, I mean, can we put the book down? Can't even put the book down. Well, we have no choice but to touch the image and see where it takes us. And so like in later games, as well as in the books, like they establish the time frame much more concretely than here. I imagine that was something they thought of after the fact as they were expanding the series, because like the way things look in this game is kind of a little bit more timeless and sort of just like, I don't want to say generic, but like there's not like an overarching aesthetic that puts it in like, oh, this is the future, oh, this is, Victorian times or medieval times or prehistory or like a post-apocalypse or something. Like, it's all a little bit more, I mean, it almost looks like they kind of used what would have been more generic 3D assets. And at the time, like in 1992 or 3, when this game was being developed, that was probably it was definitely a pretty reasonable choice. So, oh, do I have the microphone volume boosted? That's a poor choice. Alright, I'm just going to reduce it to standard volume. That's pretty silly of me to have done. Properties. No. Okay, that defaulted it. Perfect. I apologize if the audio is all around too low. I guess I completely changed my mind and decided to go with too low over too high. But let us continue. We're going to go with the classic one. Free roam. I think Myst 4 was the first one with free roaming mode. I know Myst 5 had it. Myst 5, you could actually like walk around a little bit. So yeah, I want to go for the classic Myst experience, so we will just do the standard point and click. Thank you. I like that it has to establish, like, hey, just so you know, back in the day we didn't have an escape menu. You have that now. So, alright, let's see where we're at. Where did this book take us? A dock on a mysterious island. I gotta stop saying mysterious, like that joke is not. That joke was like a one-off. And we go up here, or... Oh, we can just go straight in this door, huh? Wow, the anti-aliasing just turned totally off. Or not totally off, but... What's going on here? Just a sec. Check the graphic settings. What are you doing? Alright, that's fine. I could turn up the graphics higher, but I don't want to impact performance, and certainly I don't want to impact the quality of the stream. So, onwards and upwards, or, well, I'm onwards and downwards. I'm going to go into this... do we want to go to this door? let's take a look around outside first. What else we got going on here? So out in the distance, there's nothing. I mean, there's this sunken boat here at the dock, which is not doing us much good. Can I do anything with it? No. Let's check out what's down here. There is a switch, which we will pull in a sec here. Anything of interest? A very low poly tree up there. Oh god. Looks like it's got literally 2 leaves. Let's go up with the switch. Nothing. If I remember correctly, yeah, there's one right there. So there's like a series of these switches around the island, if I remember correctly, and I think they all have to be used together. Alright, let's go up the stairs. Whoop. Oh. Okay, can I go over here? Yes, I can. Okay, so now we're up above. There's that door that we saw earlier. Let's keep trucking forward. Yeah, up towards the main. Like, I think this is the main house sort of structure on the island. There is a lot of like interior underground stuff, as implied by that door that we opened first. It's weird because I'm pretty sure they lived on the main characters live on this island, but like there's like a notorious lack of like sleeping quarters or like a kitchen or anything like that, like homey type things that you might expect, and maybe they're just ooh, what the fuck? Like maybe they're just behind doors that don't open or something in the game. I don't quite remember. I don't think you ever find anything like that, which is kind of funny. I'm assuming that... Oh, it turns off the light. Oh, I think this is like an observatory or something. I mean, I'm a bit apprehensive to just get in the chair, but can I close this door? No. Let's take a look. January 1st. Is that the year? January 1st, year 1? Okay, we got our month setting. Okay. Presumably that is the date of the month. Time of day. Oh my goodness, we have quite a wide selection of years, eh? All the way up to year 99999. Okay, alright. Well, I don't think we have even close to enough information to do anything with this. Oh, that's to... Yeah, okay, let's put it away. Okay. The door automatically closes. Cool. Let's check out. Let's check out. Okay. Can I turn? Yeah. Alright, some sort of symbols. Got a bird, a cross, and a leaf. And then over here we've got a bug, a snake, and an eye. And then we've got, it looks like one more in each row here. I think this is representative of the boat that is sunk out front. I believe this will tell us if the boat has been raised. In fact, I think these symbols might be the puzzle that raises the boat. Just for funsies, let's pull that. See if it does anything cool. Oh, it does. I don't... Do these open? I don't think that they do. I think I'm thinking of a different part of this game. It's been, I want to say, more than 10 years since I've played Myst. What do we got over here? Something about the, like, something about this environment I just love. Like, there's something just really cool about it. It's despite being a little bit, some sounds down here. It's just so well realized. Like, the sound design's really nice, and even though the 3D graphics are, like, quite primitive, even though this is like a 2014 remaster, boop. Ah ha ha ha. Power generator or something. Interesting. They give us different outputs. If I remember correctly, part of this puzzle is, like, you can't just turn them all on, because if you turn them all on, it's too much, and the system will overload and shut back down. Without knowing what number these need to be, I mean, maybe let's just start pushing buttons. We could do that. I'm just gonna start turning them all on and see at what point it fails. Maybe that'll give us some useful information. 30, 49. That killed it. Okay, didn't like that. Interesting. Seems like once it went above roughly 50, it failed. So maybe that's something important. Oh, I remember this. So by failing it, we've tripped a breaker that we have to go mess around with. Power. Oh, there we go. Power 88, power to ship, generator switches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. That's not representative of the amount of power, whatever this is being measured in. Output would be in watts, maybe? I mean, it could be current. No, power is measured in watts traditionally, so let's say watts. You know, I'm going to look that up just before I start spouting off like I know something. I think power is measured in watts, though. Come on. Unit of power. It is a watt. Okay. Let's call that watts since it's saying power. This is not representative of the number of watts, obviously, since one of those, like 10 gave us like 19 or something. So one of them gave us like 16. So it's not just that. It's more complicated than that. So we'll have to figure out what that's about. There's a breaker somewhere, though, that I have tripped by going too high on the power. Oh. Did it fix itself? Nope. No, with that breaker, without fixing the breaker, we can't do anything here. Okay. Cool. We know where the generator is. That will be important. Doesn't seem there's anything else going on in here. So, back up we go. There's a bridge you can raise to get this thing, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, phrase of the day when I'm playing this. I'm going to be saying that a lot. One moment, please. Important text message. Let's take a look at this thing. Let's take a look at these controls. Myst. That's this game. Boop. Push the button. Nothing happens. Oh, so that must be the other hand, yeah. Wonder what time of day this needs to be at. I'm not just going to run through all of them. That would be boring. It would be boring to do everything simply by brute force and trial and error. No, we must solve the puzzles. We got us some sort of little log cabin. Something makes me think that's important. That little, like, arrowhead up there. Let's go inside the cabin. I think this is PSI. Yeah, that's a dot. For a second I thought it said PSL, and I was like, that's not a thing. Can I take a closer look at these two things? I sure can. Let's give it a good crank. Nothing? Crank the other way? Nada. Okay, well that controls probably pressure in this tank to some degree, but it's not going to activate yet, apparently. But let's go. Ooh, well, hello there. What do we have here? A safe, by the looks of it? Yeah, clunk indeed. Okay, well, you know, that's like 1,000 possible combinations, so, you know, we're not going to fart around with that too much without knowing what we're looking for. Cool. Okay, that's this end of the island. There is... No, not that way. There's a way. Okay, that's how we get up to these ones. Okay, that's fine. Let's go over here. Oh, yeah, there's a cool rocket ship over here. How did I forget the cool rocket ship? Of all the things in this game, that is one that I forgot. We'll go into this main building last, because that is where the story starts, and I want to kind of take a peek around before we get there. This is the breaker. This is the breaker we need to make around with. But it failed before we got to 88. Alright, well, I will flip the breaker, and then we'll go downstairs and make sure that this is in fact the breaker we need, and then we'll keep exploring, because I'm not going to focus on one puzzle right now. Maybe there's more than one breaker. That could easily be. That could easily be. I hope there's no one watching going like, yes, there's another breaker, you already walked past it, because like that's entirely possible. Is that? Yeah, there we go. There it is right there. So I'll probably have to like hit all of the breakers or something. Alright, I'm not going to worry about that then. I'm not going in here. I want to look at the rocket ship. I want to look at that rocket ship. Oh, look at this rocket ship. Look at this rocket ship. I wonder if this is actually like a spacecraft, because like I feel like that might be inconsistent with like the rest of like the technology as expressed in the Myst games. Like rockets, well, not totally beyond the idea of or beyond the realm of like what might happen in a Myst game, doesn't really quite fit to me. Man, we're not getting in there right now apparently. Spin around. Okay. I have to go back down there to get up to the gear. Do want to take a look at the gear here in a sec. Or, not in a sec, right away actually. I think this is the last thing on the island we haven't looked at. I don't think there's anything else. It might even just be that like once we get power restored, each of these levers just activates the various areas of the island. That sounds pretty close, actually. That sounds pretty good. right. I do remember a couple of other things that I'm not going to mention. Just because we'll get there. We'll get there and you'll get to see. All right, into the main building. Bit ostentatious with those columns, I think. Now, when I played this as a kid, like, I played this with a guide because I couldn't figure it out. But, I am going to endeavor not to tower rotation. I'm going to endeavor not to look at a guide this time. I mean, depending, if I get, like, really, really stuck, I'm not going to just, like, spin my wheels here, since obviously this is as much about doing something for you to watch as it is for me to enjoy the game. But oh, I think I remember this. I think it's like an I think there's like actually like a physical telescope here, because I think that the observatory thing we were looking at, it's just like a camera that's actually looking up at the ceiling of the room, which is like painted with constellations, and then you can like clack and like look at those, and it'll like look around at different ones. I don't know what the date would have to do with that. Well, I mean the rotation of the planet, but I feel like it, I don't know, we'll have to see. I have to see how realistic that is. Maybe it's not unrealistic. Maybe I'm just being an idiot. But I think the tower, this tower here, is like a physical observatory with an optical telescope in it, so that'll be cool. Oh, okay. Let's pop around here. What do we got here? Oh. Not maybe the most well-hidden door. I'm actually going to undo that because I want to see if there's anything on that. No? Oh, okay, maybe I won't undo that. I wanted to see if there was anything cool on that shelf. Here's hoping there wasn't, because I can't seem to... Oh, yeah, but that's what it is, because I can't... The main door closes when you open the secret door. That's what it is. Let's take a look at this fireplace. Let's climb inside this fireplace. This, I think, is like a... I think this is actually like a secret dumbwaiter that'll like take you somewhere if you press this button. So let's find out. Shklonk. Oh. Okay. Can I turn around? Oh. Oh, I don't remember this at all. Which, frankly, is the best part. I'm excited for the things I don't remember. Okay, I don't know what this is about. So, can I turn around? Can I do anything else in here? No. All right, I don't want to do this. I don't want to start messing around with things that I don't know what they are all yet, just because, like, I don't think there's much of a point to it. Like, most of these puzzles are designed so that, like, you can just sit there and input a whole bunch of different answers, and you're not really going to get it without finding the correct clue. Well, let's see this. Can I... The Channelwood, Age of Myst. I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways that are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I've arrived here late and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. A thick throne. Nice. Guards surrounded the strong creatures. The guards surrounded the strong creature who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. What did you say to the guy? You just yada yada and away the good parts. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me that he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. These sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out. Maybe because they were unequipped for such environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. Yeah, me too, dog. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there, and the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if he, crossed off, they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help him, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then knelt before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out of the door, and off of the narrow path, high in the trees, the tree dwellers were silent. They began procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway, and carry it away. He was laid down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As this strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to a dull green. This morning, I awoke finding it hard even to believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts colors. As I wander through the pathways, these creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon, so that I may learn more from them. I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Cirrus and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian age. Sorry, I'm not very good with cursive sometimes. Cirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Although the idea unsettles me, I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be a menace to the Choctic, really not sure about that one, Chochdic, Coctic, and I'm going to say Coctic even though it sounds like cock, maybe because it sounds like cock. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Cirrus and Achenar here. See Everdune's journal for more information. After watching Cirrus and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest my fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. For a little longer. Oh, that's what? Channelwood again for a little longer time. I think that's probably just a little error there that they didn't color that text blue. Although, it's possible there's a page missing from this diary. I would not put it past this game. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Cirrus and Achenar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Cirrus and Achenar about Pran's death today. Oh, and they were visibly shaken, though they only remember her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Cirrus and Achenar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me what an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colors. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through the very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. Ah, so that explains the color. I was kind of wondering. I was like, is this supposed to be like thematically significant, or like what's up with that? Because there are some. Well, we'll see in a minute about some colors that are important in this game. All right, where are we at? We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they can visit some other ages alone. Though I will have to think over their request, I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. Oh. Idea for a windmill, perhaps? Cool. All right. Well, that's the Channelwood Journal. Burnt to a crisp. Burnt to a crisp. But returned to the shelf. One wonders why. The Stone Ship Age. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks, for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not as strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand. Not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is as much a sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. Hell yeah. That's even more fun. Why not do some astronomical observations? The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also, during the night, I catch glimmers of a light from the horizon which I have not yet been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light towards the horizon, it may prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night on the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish, when Will noticed a man not far away from the girl, and was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art, that have more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think he straight embedded that boat in the rock. I think of it this... So what is it? What did he say? I think of it this age as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. Ooh. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for several years, and the cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been serving me with new food and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that this entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like in another 10 years. The constellation of the Anchor. The constellation of the Eye, the constellation of the Snake. Heyo! I think we recognize these symbols. Constellation of the Bug, the constellation of the Cross. Constellation of the arrow, the constellation of the bird, constellation of the leaf. I wonder then if it's just a matter of pushing the buttons in that order. We'll check in a bit here. But we've got more books to read, I think. Let's see. Stoneship Age. Yeah, if I remember correctly, all of the books on this shelf that are not, hey, I was wrong, wow, eat my own words instantaneously. Doesn't that just look like the puzzle interface in the fireplace? Which, almost kind of ironic, I suppose. Are you serious right now? There's so many of these! 300. Okay, that's not giving us the answers easily. Okay, good to know. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Put it back. Okay, that one actually does something then. I guess it kind of behooves me to look at all of these books then. Even the ones that are burnt. I'm assuming if they have the same cover, they're going to have the same interior. So if it looks, yeah, so these green ones should all be the same then. Yeah. I think that's probably a pretty safe bet. Otherwise, like, how would you even know what to do here? I mean, I guess they could just, like, sadistically make you look through all of these, but that seems a bit silly. And it's like I can't quite go based on the spine, because like this one has the same spine as the other brown books, but like it's not the same interior, so I do actually have to look at the cover of each of these. Just something depressing about burned books. You're like, what was in here? Maybe it was something cool. Maybe it was something useful. Maybe it was something that was only in this book and now it's gone forever. That was in there. Gear. Gear. Have we seen a gear before? Yes, we have. So I remember the Stoneship Age. Having now read about it, I remember the Channelwood Age. I kind of don't remember what the other ages in this game are. And for anyone wondering what was being referred to in these journals, the ages, this game contains a number more. It contains quite a few more of books that are the same as that first Myst book that fell out of the sky, and they're called linking books. Those will take you to another world, and you can tell which ones they are because you'll open it up, and instead of being like, I'm a book full of words, it'll be a book with a picture on it, like that Myst book that'll show you like a little preview of the world you're going to go to. Surprisingly, I think this might be the only one that shows you a video. Maybe I'm wrong about that. So Channelwood, Stoneship, what does that say? The something, Age of Myst. Anyway, all of these we'll be getting to them by finding books that then transport us to like Channelwood and Stoneship and solving more puzzles there. So our first task here is to unlock the secrets here on Myst Island in this age and find the linking books that will get us to Channelwood and Stoneship and all these other places, Osmoyan, to do the rest of the game. So that's why it's really useful to read these books. They kind of explain what the hell's going on in those worlds and like give you a bit of bit of grounding to kind of figure out what you're going to do when you get there. Okay, what do we got here? Okay. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to take another glass of water here. I'm going to keep reading. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason, I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north. Hotter than I would have imagined, it almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the horizon. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red along past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and bled into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear for my life. I must remember to bring a Myst linking book with me when I return in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. Which would be a big problem. Like, you can't just... If you go to a place and you don't bring a book that'll take you back to the place that you were in, unless you have the materials to create a new linking book, which are fairly specific, you will never get back. You can't return. You basically just teleported to another, completely other worlds, and you're stuck there now, so he's right on. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has transformed into a barren desert land with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently the fallen meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the fallen meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of this lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head into a nearby stream to cool it off. The hot breeze had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. I do like the little diagrams in his journals. in case you were wondering, the person who wrote these journals is the same person who narrated the opening, the intro video. I'm sure you could tell based on the fact that I'm really heavily imitating his voice as I'm reading them. I'm not really doing that consciously, but that's just what you do. But yeah, I love Atris's drawings. Atris is his name, as you will find out later. A spoiler, I guess? I don't know. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on his own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Sirius and Akedar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw material here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin my work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge, and although... and then it just kind of fades out. Oh, and it fades back. The magnetic idea will work well, and I have decided to. Kind of a compass, and then a radar dish with some Wi-Fi bars beside it. 3 meters is not enough to support the beams, although it somewhat... and I can't get past that, I don't know what's there. Amazingly strong. Ah, the rocket. Okay, the rocket's what's going to get us there. The book will be inside the rocket then. Huh. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. I am extremely proud of his rocket. Yeah, it's a pretty good rocket. Could never have imagined it to come together quite as... I doubt. Could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. But that's important. Completely fatigued. I am so happy to have completed tomorrow. And back to full text again. I am leaving today in order to bring back Sirius and Akedar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes into another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. 51423 on a keyboard. Interesting. Wonder where that is. That's it for this one. I can't read that. I can't remember what the name of that age is, but I think it'll say later. We got this, we got that. Is this real book? Yeah. It's the Age of Rhyme. Not to be confused with the Age of Reason. See what I did there? It's like rhyme and reason. Rhyme and reason. It's like a play on. It's like a play on words. It's like a play on. I'm sorry, but I can't promise the puns will stop. They won't. Okay. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures. And it was. The sky here is dark and grey and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed far beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout's post attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop the enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea has sparked in my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I have begun work on a plan for protection. Gear room. After a short absence, I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help in this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon this old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see, as they work on some small project of their own. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level and the people experience after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed the most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography I began experimenting with on my visit to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable survivors to learn to use the fortress. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. so interesting. So, little digression, there is a spin-off to this game series called Uru, Ages Beyond Myst, which I will be playing as part of this series, but a little bit later down the line I intend to play them in release order, so it'll come after Myst 3. And in it, you go to an age that has a rotating fortress like this. That's so interesting. I wonder if Atreus knew that he was employing tactics that were sort of like historical in nature, at least in the context of this world. I kind of doubt. I don't think he would have known about that area either, too, so that's really interesting. Obviously, it's not much of a stretch to assume that, like, in the later games, they're referencing back to this, which is cool, but, I'm really excited to go to this world now. Gear World. Okay. The Black Ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched their boats leave. Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that a blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure, and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. But first I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments that they have long endured. Oh, damn. I hope to return to mechanical age and one day find the population growing and my fortress still strong. Though the sky may always be black, I am confident the people here feel heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. And last, this blue book. Rhyme, as I have named it. A desolate age with a beauty that is quite different than I had expected or imagined. The intricate feathers of ice that fall from the sky are awe-inspiring. I feel as though I could sit and watch them for hours. And though it is cold here, like I have never experienced before, I find myself enjoying the change of temperature, for it is unlike any other place that I have ever seen. Perhaps the oddest thing is the silence. Although the wind blows on occasion, when it ceases, there is a suffocating silence that falls on this place, broken only by the distant cries of unseen creatures. I visited 3 times, and am sure now that this age will provide the environment I need. I believe the cold temperature is necessary for obtaining the correct resonance. Examining the structure of the books is ever more perplexing, but I am driven onward by my need to understand. The great tree of possibilities can never be fully grasped, but I must at least try to find one particular branch. On the subject of enlightenment, I would also like to find the cause of the mysterious lights that shine on the darkness here. Though I never assumed I would be able to build especially fast here, the speed at which I am progressing is somewhat disappointing. I do think I will bring Sirius and Agonar, as well as some of the machinery from Selenitic. Right, okay, that was the one that I couldn't quite read. Agonar chose to stay with Catherine, but Sirius was rather excited to come. He had spent the last few days here with me, helping me with the beginning phases of construction. He too seems to enjoy the ice and cold weather. He is intrigued with the crystals that we have brought with us. Crystals. He has been a big help, as have others, and I hope to be able to begin my experiments here soon. As have others? Tonight, Sirius and I found a wondrous spot to view the lights, although it seems they decided to hide from us. After sitting in the cold winds for over 2 hours, we saw nothing. It was rather disappointing. Sirius will return to Myst tomorrow. He has been a tremendous aid to me, and I am thankful for his willingness to help. The hard part of the construction is over, although I have decided after tonight that I would like to add some kind of observation post. I won't be finished as soon as I had hoped, although I'm fairly certain it will be worth the delay in the long run. I have decided to break from the construction now that the tunnel is almost complete, and I have been able to set up a temporary space where the crystals will not be stimulated. I am quite convinced that with the right diffraction resonance, certain properties of the ink can be simulated. Catherine still finds it absurd to think I am crazy, to assume I will be able to view ages with stones, but her unusual pessimism has not convinced me to stop trying. I came too close to success on Everdunes. I seem to remember from later games that they very much do create that technology, but maybe I'm misremembering. I am fairly certain now that temperature indeed does have an effect on the crystals, but I have realized that temperature alone is not enough. The cold dampens some of the sympathetic harmonics, but a more active suppressor is necessary. I've acquired some geodes with a pure protected crystalline interior. Thin slices of the geodes below each crystal provided a stabilizing effect and even amplified the clean frequency slightly. After quite a bit of experimentation with the shapes and colors, I was able to capture a blurry image within a book. Though the ink would never work, there was clearly an age on the other side. Though the link would never work, there was clearly an age on the other side. I can hardly wait to return and tell Catherine. I feel like I should finish the shaft to my observation post while I have the machinery here. Perhaps tomorrow morning. The lights were beautiful again last night. They had not shown themselves for so long that I had almost forgotten their beauty. I still must find the cause. I'm feeling rather overwhelmed with what remains to be done. The crystals have not been perfected. The shaft is not finished, nor is the observation post or even lab. I have not seen Catherine for some time, and I long to spend some time with Akinar and Cirrus. Besides all of that, there are far away, in the back of my mind, the thoughts of my people and our lost city. I dreamt again of them last night. Yeah. I wonder how much of this has been changed, because that is from Uru. And you go to that lost city in Uru. Well, oh yeah, mentions of Riven and stuff. Cool, so they've added references to, like, later stuff and later games in these. That's amazing. Probably the books, too. Because the books were written by, like, the people who wrote the game, so they are, like, hard canon. I have only seen the city in its worst condition, and still its beauty overwhelmed me. Even now, as I visualize how majestic it must have been before the destruction caused by Viovis and Agaris, it amazes and saddens me. Can confirm. The lost city of Dunny is very cool. Very cool. I am fairly certain that Dunny is not as dead as my father believed. I am convinced that there must be some who managed to escape the destruction and even now continue to survive in separate ages. Within me is an urging to take the chance and return to Denis to find these survivors and properly rebuild our city. However, I can do nothing until I am certain of the fate of my father. If my plan failed, if I missed a single book when attempting to trap him on Riven, then he has been free all along. If that is true, then all that stands between him and the ages I have now written is the link from Denis to Myst. As much as I wish to return to Denis, without knowing the state of my father, I cannot risk re-establishing that link. I must observe my father without re-establishing that link. It has taken several years, and there have been many dead ends, but I have partially succeeded. Now that I have managed to view another age using the crystals, it is only a matter of time until I view Riven. At least, I hope. Catherine will have her ideas about all of these things, and I miss her greatly. I will return to Rhyme later, when my mind is cleared. I've never played Riven, so I can't speak to what happens in that game, but very excited to get to it. It is the sequel to this. Okay, so that was a fun little audiobook for y'all, for like, straight up just read those for like 45 minutes or something, so I hope that was interesting for somebody. I wonder if anyone like dipped into this channel and was like, what the fuck, and then left. Okay, and so that's the main thing I wanted to do before I go down there, but what of these books? Let's find out. Completely inoperable. Nada. I do think it's funny that they display TV static. Like, it gets the point across, but... Well, let's go ahead and throw this page in the book. See what it does.
Live. Bring me a red. I can't see. You ready? You must. Bring.
I am serious.
Give it up. There is one thing I need. Rescue.
So in case you couldn't hear that because the audio is a little bit spotty, he can't see us or hear us, but that's Cirrus. And he would like us to bring some more red pages. I mean, the first one we added does seem to have made a difference. It went from full static to him being able to talk, so let's see what the blue book does.
You serious? Are you? See you.
Akinar.
Help me. Bring blue pages. Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
I must have the blue page. Bring them to me.
Bring me the blue pages. I'm Akinar. Forever and ever. Forever and ever, eh? Wow. There's one place we still need to go, and that is the secret passage. The fact that it makes you click through all different parts of this hallway is so silly. That is a creepy shadow right there. Off to the library. Right. Okay. Okay, this is almost definitely just based on the map and where we would have gone spatially. That tower that we could change the rotation of on that map. So my guess is that by changing what's going on the map, the rotation of the tower, we'll see an effect up here. And perhaps expose more symbols, or like maybe we'll like kind of slide it around and open up that big kind of area that we just looked at, so, sort of like an observatory. Well, that was a weird transition. Yeah, let's go up here. Yeah. So these things need to do something. We need to rotate this tower into position to do something. But what did we see? We saw a key and we saw a book. We saw a key and we saw a book. And that is probably important. What time is it? It's almost 8 here. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going till like, because the stream started late, I'm going to go to like 8:30 maybe. Oh, gotta close that door. Down we go. I will probably take a quick bathroom break here in a sec, though. Although perhaps not. Maybe it's better to meet the content out in smaller intervals. I'm not sure. Meet the content out in smaller intervals. Look at me, big content creator guy. Alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save the game. Oh, I see. That is a way of saving a game for sure. 7:54 p.m. Okay, so it is saving a specific save file. Good, which means we can start. Oops. Let's see what happens when we do this.
Live.
It doesn't work. Okay. Where to begin? Where to begin, huh? Oh, right, wrong one. I am interested to know what this game would be like in the full 3D, but they're actually coming out pretty soon with like an even newer, nicer remastered version of this game that's gonna look just beautiful by the looks of it, and I'm really excited to play that. So rather than try out all the potential weird little features in this, I think I'm gonna save that for like a later playthrough of like this newer game. What we can do though is we can get these freaking breakers going again. Is there a breaker over here? Breaker 2-9er, rubber ducky, the electricity's out, please fix it. Okay, what do we got? I can't tell if it's doing anything, honestly. Oh gosh, no, don't do that, please. But, I got the one breaker already. Oh, goodness. birds are so chirpy at night? I feel like that's something that was not in the original game. The boards. The borbs. The barbs. The burbs. Schmerbs. Okay, let's see if this generator's back up and running. I'm still not sure how we could possibly get it to 88 though without overrunning it, because it seemed to fail way before we got even close to 80. So like, let's see if I can at least do the trick. Okay, at least we only got to hit the 2 breakers. It's 9. It says 19, right? So it's not, like I said, it's not just the watts are not what the buttons indicate. And they want to go up to 88, or perhaps 83, but it looks like an 88 to me. Huh. Generator switches. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine it would just be hitting 8 and then 8. Oh? Yeah, doesn't like that. Okay, so we've got to do something else then if we're going to get it up to 88, because it's clearly not capable of handling that until we do something. Do something. Power to ship anyway. It looks like the power is currently only running like over to the rocket, because it's the only place I see wires going to. Oh, there's the tower up there. You can barely see it. I'm going to take a look at those constellations. I think they were in Stone Ship, and then I'm going to try pushing those buttons in that order and hope that it's as simple as that to raise the ship. And that should make the Stone Ship linking book available to us. I really hope I don't have to try and find these in that observatory, because that's no way. All right, anchor. You know what? I'm going to write these down just because I have a terrible memory. So let's see what we got here. Anchor. Snack. We got a boodle. We got a cross. Not the Southern Cross, though, which is a constellation only visible from Australia. And, well, the Southern Hemisphere. Really, it's not like the constellations kind of hover over one area of the Earth. The Earth kind of spins. It's an arrow. It's a burb. And it's a left. Alright, let's see what these go. See if these work. Okay. So first we want anchor. Oh, I might need to turn... I'm going to turn the electricity on again, just in case that... I don't think that's crucial for every puzzle, but on the off chance it is, let's reset the breakers before we start farting around too much. That looks eerily like Earth's moon. I don't like that. That's weird. That's creeping me out. Because we are not on Earth. That's the thing. Like, when you link to a different age, like, it's made pretty clear that, like, you are on a different planet. I'm just going to assume that whatever world Myst is has a moon. Actually, no, wait, it's going to move into frame. Let's take a good look. You know, I can't quite tell. It looks a little bit different. And, like, the markings on the moon's surface were just caused by various impact events and, I almost said geological, but geo would put it on Earth. I don't know. Lunological. Exological. The black areas on the moon were caused by high impacts breaking through the crust and then new rock forming there from the like liquid heated rock, right? So any body could have those kind of markings, really, as long as it had a similar composition to the moon and underwent a similar beatdown. Okay, we're looking for anchor first. We want to do anchor first. Where are you, anchor? Anchor, hello. Boop. Anchor. And then we want eye. Oh, I really hope it's just... eye. And then we want snack. Oh my goodness. That's arrow. Snack. Snack. And then we want beetle, which was the next one, I believe. Yes, it was. Whoa. And then we want cross. Cross is behind us. Shoop. And then we want arrow. We want arrow. And then we want burb, and then we want leaf. Burb and leaf are over here. Hello, burb. Hello, burb. Come here. Burb. And then we want leaf. Now, unfortunately, that may not have been sufficient. It might also be a matter of restoring power to the rest of the island before we can get anything to do anything. So, we'll give this a clickaroo, but I kind of don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah. Power is out. Okay. So then the power generator must be the first thing we need to do. It's got to be the first puzzle. I wonder how we're going to find which page in the Book of Squares has the combination to open the fireplace, the puzzle in the fireplace to solve that. Because I know it's in there. Whoa, what's this? What's this? Catherine, I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our force chamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. That's very important. Okay, number of marker switches. I got Uno here. We've got one over there too. We've got one right there. 3. We've got one behind the power station. 4. We've got one, I think, over on this island here. 5. We've got one at the dock. 6. Got one here. 7. 7. Okay. Whoa. So easy to get disoriented in this game. I reserve the right to, in the future, change my mind and go to the WASD. Click. 7. 8, 9? It's... No, I already count the dock one? Shit. I totally forgot about going down here. We gotta go down there. That'll be the force chamber, though. I think it's 8. It might be 9. Try those. And then we'll see. Also, I think there's something going on with that tree up there that I missed. Our force chamber. I think that's that. You know you found something important when music starts playing. Hey there. Jesus, wasn't expecting that. It's set to water turbulence pool. Let's try 47. Okay, so I probably have to set that to like 0.8 or something like that. And that is the marker switch diagram. That's fun. I think it was 8. We'll try 8. We'll try 9. That doesn't work. Do you not like that, or? There's our boy.
My love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine is one of our sons. I suspect Agony, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
Which implies that she never saw it. Which I think, and again, I've never played the sequel, I think is confirmed in Riven, that she never made it back to deal with this situation. I don't think she's dead. I think she's like trapped in Riven or something like that. All sorts of fucky things have occurred. Well, Atris has been off. So I think we can kind of guess where the places of protection for the books are. This is going to bring us to one of them. If I remember correctly, this big Gears opens and the book is inside. Did I investigate that tree? I don't think I did. I wonder if I can even get over there. Okay. Let's see what kind of fun things we can do with this. That's roughly where the boat is. Let's see if that did anything cool. Again, it may be one of these things where like the first thing we gotta do is the generator. Get that fixed. The shadows in here are effed. Like, is it that there's... Oh, it's the... It's the bars and the light casting those shadows? That seems like it's a rendering error to me. Okay. Interesting. Nothing has changed in here. Huh. Okay, yeah. Might have to restore power first. It seems to me that the tower did not rotate. Not that it was rotated incorrectly, but that it simply did not rotate, and my suspicion would be that is because power has not been restored to the island, and probably nothing really works until you get power restored, with the exception of, thankfully, the, what do they call that thing? The force chamber? The, like, little hologram dealy? Okay. And the sun rises over the island of Myst. Okay. Got that note there. Thankfully, it didn't rain before I mysteriously showed up in this land and washed away. Otherwise, oh, wouldn't that have been an unfortunate series of events for the protagonist? Tower needs a time. The observatory needs a date and time. The gear and the rocket, I suspect, just need electricity. The tower, I suspect, just needs electricity. The ship, I suspect, just needs electricity because I think I've probably solved that one. I think that's one of the more rudimentary puzzles. Whatever's going on in that like little hut with the pressure container, that probably just needs electricity. Yeah, I think priority one needs to be get power to the generator. So I will stand here in front of that, and then I will hit Escapo, and I will hit El Savo, and yeah, we'll save over that, that's fine. And I think that's going to be it. I think that was a nice little overview for our first Myst Monday. I hope you didn't mind that I took the time to read all of those books out loud. There's a little bit more of that in this game, but I think that's most of it. And it is important to the plot line. you're not going to get too much else aside from things like that, so you really kind of have to read those books. And I figured, hey, if I've got to read them, might as well make it fun for you. So hopefully that was cool. If you did enjoy that, let me know, and I will skip that kind of stuff in the future, because like I know what's going on here. I'm not worried about missing the storyline, and like, you know, if there's stuff to read, I'll just read it after the fact outside of the video for my own enlightenment, and then share the like summarized version with y'all. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I personally love the Myst games. I think they're a lot of fun. I think it's cool that they're like, you know, adventure games, and they will touch on heavy topics and stuff, but like, it's really rare that you engage in any kind of violence in these games, and I just think that's kind of refreshing, because so many games focus on violence. Like, it's perfectly, you know, acceptable to want to play like an RPG like Fallout or something, where you're shooting people all the time, or a first-person shooter, or, you know, some sort of like vehicle-based combat game. Any of those things are cool. Like, I love those games, but it's nice, I think, sometimes to have a bit of variety there. So yeah, I'll call it a night for now. Check this out again next Monday. Check me out on Twitter. That's where I announce when I'm streaming. Things should be streaming on YouTube and on Twitch now together. I will confirm that once this is done, just in a sec here, to make sure that everything went well and the sound quality was good, and I'll keep trying to refine all these things. Next week, I might start looking into like some more polish for the Twitch page, you know, overlays and bots and stuff like that. I don't know how worried I am about that. Also, I didn't really think about where my little screen here was in relation to everything going on the screen here. On the screen here, sorry. I hope that wasn't too distracting or like obscuring everything. This game is not in a widescreen ratio. Well, it's pretty close. There's not like huge black bars. So I don't think anything was off your guys' screen. But if it was, I apologize, and I will endeavor to do better about that in the future. But yeah, follow me here on Twitch. Follow me here on YouTube, whichever one you're watching. Follow me on Twitter, where I can let you know what's going on, what kind of plans I have in the future. That's probably where I'll run polls in between videos, continue to consult people about what kind of content I want to put up on here and what kind of things you want to see. So yeah, I hope you had a good time, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great